Yeah, well, that's the stress warrant from the court.
Right. Unfortunately, I had to actually deal with the police about 2 weeks ago because we got quite a lot of these letters. So we got quite a few of these.
Yeah.
Now, you believe that written to be opened by somebody here?
No, it's not open. You opened it?
Well, I wouldn't open it. It's to be mail fraud, wouldn't it? That's what we're doing. Is that one for me? Do you think that could be to you as well? I think it's all Equita.
Yes, right, yeah. So
Equita?
You're not the first on the letter then?
Equita? I'm a man, mate.
Yeah.
We don't have to do the Freeman stuff, but I know what my name is.
Yeah.
But also, unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, I had to actually sit down with a police officer to actually find out if this was a warrant or not. Now, luckily, I didn't actually write one of these until it was delivered today. But you're looking for a warrant of execution by our clients, Nottingham City Council, authorised by the court to remove goods. Right, okay, we've actually got it on here because you've changed it slightly from what we asked before, asked for court, but the court appears to be a private court for Nottingham City Council and not a court with normal court jurisdiction, or is it?
Yeah, it's like a bulk.
So it's just a court. So there's no judges. There's a warrant.
Yeah.
Do we ever have? Yeah, we have. As long as we have a signature and the name of the person who sent this warrant.
Because obviously it's not. It's because it's a bulk centre. The court ain't gonna sign every signature. You know
That's because there isn't a warrant there. So if it's a
Yeah.
warrant,
Yeah,
the police are actually thinking these are actually court papers. They are legal.
It's got a number on it.
Yeah, no problem. I'll sit here and wait. Sorry about that, but the breakfast was getting cold. Right, we've returned 4 letters, I think, various names. See if we can get a photograph. That'll be fine.
I'll have a hard copy, and that's just the copy we get.
So this is
that's all the
this is just a print. I could do this, can't I?
And there's the number down there from the. You can keep that.
Thank you. Well, I won't need that because it's got misblock capitals. And this one's a JC, so I don't want to say that I've opened as an error, but obviously, obviously this is your company, so I can't take that. It'd be a mistake. It'll be mail fraud. It's frank mail anyway. Well, anyway, what did you want to do about this, and who do you need to speak to?
Oh, obviously I need to speak to Mr.
That's not going to be possible. But you know what my name is?
No,
My name's Jonathan. Will that help you?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and you got any idea that you're Jonathan?
I've got an idea. I'm Jonathan.
Can I
Yeah.
have see that then?
I won't have any idea on me for Jonathan. Never actually be Mr. Allington. But my name's Jonathan, and how can we help you today so you're not going to worry about what's happening with what's on the drive?
We need to see proof that obviously you're not Mr. J.
There wouldn't be anything, would there?
No.
There wouldn't be absolutely
So
anything at all.
obviously that's your vehicle though?
Yeah, so if we don't open these letters, it could be mine. Could be mine there as well.
No,
Is that any good for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it won't be mine, will it? Nothing will belong to me.
Oh, well, no, because I haven't seen the proof.
But they may be actually using the trade name Mr. to actually gain, should we call it, access to the benefit of the vehicle. Right now it says, I have had to deal with Equita several times before, so it's nice to see you straight on, which is why there's no argument with this at all. It does seem to me as though you're dealing with a private civil situation, but not actually using the courts, using private courts, and it's actually Nottingham City Council keep sending these letters, and you're acting as a third party. But I've asked them not to come here because, of course, they're acting on the names that you're using. But of course, I would never open a letter from anybody there unless I had a contract with you at all. What's that? I took a photograph of this.
If you're in the court...
I wouldn't need to go to a court.
No, if you ring them...
No, there isn't a court, is there?
No, this is the Northampton Bulk Centre.
That's a bulk centre, isn't it? We've called those many times, but they say it's not a court, it's a bulk clearance centre.
You explain the situation.
Which is business, so we won't have an argument.
You explain to them what, obviously, they're using your name or whatever.
No, my name's Jonathan. I don't need to use this. But because you keep coming back to me, if you keep keeping these letters, I was trying to inform the police that it seemed like harassment, but they said it was quite legal until they actually need what was actually issued a warrant. So that isn't a warrant, is it?
That is a warrant, yeah.
No, that's a warrant, yeah. I mean, like one I could type up for you now. Could I give you another warrant?
If you've got one.
Right, well, I'd have to type here. And so it won't be any different, will it?
This is a legal document.
Well, I do legal documents. If I do a legal document asking you not to be here, because I've had to do it with the last time the bailiffs came here, that you shouldn't be here because I would invite you in, Yeah, if I may be the person you're speaking
well,
to,
obviously-
but it's not.
Yeah.
But so you don't get confused with me, Jonathan,
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know that that business address and those letters are actually sent by your company back to you, and you're wanting me to open them. So could you stop actually sending any more of these letters? If the Nottingham City Council, who are acting for you, want to deal with me, then we've already dealt with this one already. I've been doing it for 3 years now. So we don't really want them coming back here with any letters at all from Mr. Baker or Equita or anybody at all pushing through my door, because when I get a stack of 5 of them, which is the only ones I've got here, unfortunately there's a big stack of these, and I shouldn't be opening them to cause any confusion for you or anybody else, because my name's Jonathan, not whatever names you use, Mr. John, Mr. 04441, but the illusion is that there's actually court procedures and warrants rather than Nottingham City Council trying to get you to reclaim money and asking me to do this. I wouldn't enter into any contract unless my name's on it.
Obviously you're Mr. JC.
Well, you are concerned, aren't you? Which is a bit odd, because you're making things up as you go along. But you need me to be anything. But you're Mr. Baker, and you're actually.
The court saying this is.
But you're actually Equita, but you're not actually Richard, is it?
The court are saying.
The court is the one that the council have. Is it the one they go to building? Because we've asked for these warrants to see these sites, and it turns out there weren't any. It was a Mr. Richard Ancliffe from the council actually showed me one of the warrants, very similar to yours, which we have photographs of. But unfortunately, he says that's a warrant as well. But that would have been legal advice. He's not in the right place to do it. But you're giving the legal advice that it is actually a warrant of execution from a court. So what's that one say?
It says. A warrant of control unpaid penalty charge.
Right, so where does it say court on there?
It says.
Right, so this is.
Enforcement
it does say, yes, the Traffic Enforcement Centre, County Court. So it's the Traffic Enforcement Centre, and then there's a comma, and then we're going. Now, is that actually mean it's a courtroom, or is that the room that's called the Traffic Enforcement for just rubber stamping? Is there actually a court that they said, yes, Nottingham has actually said this man's own money, he's not paying, and you're coming? Is that right?
Yeah.
Right, but that's 3 people we've got so far. Because we've got the 4th one is meant to be me, but of course they're not writing me. So we've got something called the Northampton Bulk Clearing Centre. Yeah, don't worry about the address, because this is where I live. And Nottingham City Council have the address of Loxley House, I think, or what address they have. That's 2 of you. And then we've got you acting as an agent for Exeter. That's 3 people. Okay, but that's nothing to do with legalities. Or shall we say, of gaining these debts if there's no debt. But I've actually said no to it, but it's not actually a court, it's just a court building. Like, you could call this my house, you could call this my drive, and this, but it's nothing to do with anybody at all. So I don't really need you here, because normally I would put on what was called, I just say, removal of your implied rights of access, because we've got a man in front of us. So I'll do that for you, but the company itself, it says, I find it quite harassing you coming right anything up, which is scurrilous. So there's no reason.
I'll put down that you're coming as in no proof, but you'll say you're John.
Oh, I'm John. Yeah, I say Jonathan. I've got all these different names, but the name I'm using is Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, so
okay, so there won't be anything on my birth certificate on that says Jonathan, whatever name you've got. So I must have had some type of paperwork to get some type of licence, either a vehicle or park or anything else. But
so we see proof, obviously
but I'm afraid that's not dealt with. Shall we call it anything we think more than private civil action? So it'll waste your time. But are you got any intention of doing anything further from me, or asking for anything from Mr. Is it Mr. JC you wanted? Right, well, luckily that's not in block capitals, but I won't be receiving any messages from you or anybody else calling me that name unless I've already got a contract with them. Okay, so there won't be anything to collect, but could you make sure nobody comes back and I'll
put a note on the file and explain the situation I spoke to you.
It's very harassing, you see.
But obviously...
Yeah. Well, if you want to take it back to Nottingham City Council, then of course they can deal with me, but I've got videos of them actually trying to deliver themselves personally, and I've had defamation of character, and I've had antisocial behaviour orders, sometimes in different names, but they know who I am. I'm Jonathan, and we don't want to give you any hassle, but I'm afraid I do find this a way of actually accruing the private debt, so I don't need you to be back here again, and I don't want the company writing, otherwise I've got to consider harassment. So can we have a cease and desist from you, so we don't do that?
Down on, obviously I've been here and I haven't seen no proof, but obviously you don't want your name's Jonathan, your name's not Mr. JC Arlington.
That's right. Yeah, that's lovely. So if anybody else comes from Equita, I am considering harassment, but for you, I'm sorry, you've got to have a good day, because you've got to collect on fees and stuff, but this is how most people are going to do it for you, so then we can be reasonable. It's very nice to meet you, sir.
Have a nice day.
Pleasure at all. Yeah. Okay,
cheers,
thank you. You see, a very nice man when you handle these things properly. Oh, it's 11:07. Good timing.